Alright, so you're on the market for a new mechanical keyboard, and maybe you stumbled upon this one, and you're wondering if it's worth it to get. I mean, if you look at this thing, like, it looks kind of nice, right? That's at least what I thought when I first saw this thing, like Discord themed, and it was a partnership when it got released. But you see like the price tag, and you're like, I don't know, it seems kind of expensive, but it does have 4.5 stars on their website. So, how good is this thing really? Um, so yeah, on release, this keyboard came out or at least was announced in December 2021, and at the time, the proceeds for it went to a charity, which is this charity. So it's called The Right Love Under Arms, and this is basically for helping people who are struggling with addiction, depression, and suicide. Um, so a good incentive to get it. Let's just say that, at least when it first got released. Um, but that's not a thing anymore. So the keyboard is the same price as it was on release, but now when you buy it, it doesn't go towards charity anymore. It just goes to this company. So let's say you are trying to justify buying a $200 keyboard, even though it has the 4.5 stars, and maybe you're trying to justify even paying over $100 for any keyboard, and that's a pretty good thing to think, because spending over $100 on a keyboard is very expensive. So I will be comparing this thing to the Keychron K8, which I think is a pretty fair comparison, because they're both 10 keyless keyboards. They're both RGB. They both kind of cost a decent amount of money, although one a little bit more than the other. So what are the big differences between this thing and the Snowsgiving Discord keyboard? Well, the price difference is what I already pointed out. So this thing is less than half the cost of the Discord keyboard, which is probably the biggest thing for most people, because spending hundreds of dollars on a keyboard is maybe not a good decision for you. And then also the battery size between the two. So the Discord keyboard comes with, it says here, 2K milliamp, which is honestly a pretty decent size. I used this thing for a few weeks at work, and I haven't had to charge it yet, surprisingly, and it's been like a month or something. So it's a decent size battery, but it doesn't really compare to the Keychron's 4K milliamp battery. So 4K is obviously double the size of the Discord keyboard, which means that, I never got to the like 0% like charging for the Discord keyboard. So I imagine that if I used the Keychron instead at work, I could last months on end without having to charge it. But that might be something to keep in mind, is that the Keychron keyboard has twice the size of the battery as the Discord keyboard. Alright, this is the sort of packaging that the keyboard comes with. It has a nice Discord logo on it at the top. If you open it, the keyboard is going to be strapped down like this. I just take it out because I don't want to bother with the straps now. So up here, I got the wire for the keyboard. So it's a usual keyboard with Type-C connector, so that's nice. Pretty standard braided cable. So put that aside, and this will come quick start guide. So this is the keycap set it comes with. So I actually the escape key is in here. This was the one that I came with, but I just replaced it with this Discord thingy. And then you got a lot of other options for keycaps, so that's kind of nice. And then there's one more thing. So it does come with a keycap puller. So this thing is keycap puller. And then this is a supposed switch remover. So it's kind of nice that it comes with that too. So I have two problems with this keyboard, and they're really just personal preferences. So the first one is that the function rows don't have the macros enabled. They're written in the instructions, but I would prefer to have the macros labeled on the function keys. I have a Razer Black Widow here, and as you can tell, the macros are labeled on the function keys. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is that the indicator for the caps lock is located up here. So if you try to place this down and you're just typing on it, you can tell that the caps lock indicator is blocked by one of these keys. So I would prefer to have the caps lock indicator be like here, so that when I use this keyboard, I can tell when the caps lock key is turned on. But since it's up here, it's just impossible to tell unless I try to lean over the keyboard, which is really inconvenient. But besides that, if you have the same like personal preferences as me, then you can probably look for a better option, because most mechanical keyboards actually have the macro keys labeled and have a better way for you to tell if the caps lock key is on. Alright, I just want to give some closing thoughts before I end the video. So really it's just would I recommend this keyboard, and the answer is just no. Like, Discord's a cool company, like obviously have a really good communication platform, and this collaboration was also really nice, like being able to give basically back to a non-profit. Not really worth it for the money, especially right now. You can get something a lot better for a lot less, and like I mentioned earlier in this video, the Keychron is a really good keyboard, so if you wanted an alternative to that keyboard, or if you're just looking for something in general, that's a good buy. But as far as this keyboard, like, I would recommend just going with something else. But that's pretty much it for this video, so thanks for watching.